So this is just a quick video. It's a little camera trick that most people will probably already know, but just for those who don't, I did this in the video mode, so this end one here, and it's basically called a Dolly Zoom, and I will play some examples of a Dolly Zoom here. But it's essentially when it looks like the background is zooming differently to the camera, because that's exactly what is happening. Say there's a moment where they're meant to look shocked, or maybe you're looking down a flight of stairs and suddenly it's almost like you've got vertigo, that sort of thing. It's that effect that we're trying to achieve. So in order to do this, get as far back from your subjects as possible, and then you zoom into their face or however you want to frame them. And then as you walk towards them with the camera, you zoom out, and that creates this warped look. Now, the reason it's called a dolly zoom is because you usually have the camera on a dolly, which is essentially, it puts it on wheels, so it's a smooth motion. I don't own a dolly, so my examples are a little bit shaky. So it's almost impossible for me to actually demonstrate the example without help, and I have no one to help me. There's no one that can film to show what I'm doing, especially because the examples I had to go down to a park. Essentially, you want the background to be, you want a fair bit going on in the background, and you want it to have a bit of a distance from your subject so that that sort of warpy look is effective. So it's very hard for me to demonstrate on my own here. But essentially, if I was going to do the effect here on the canvas, I would get the camera as far back as I can, but I'd zoom right into the subject. Oh, there's a slow zoom. And then once I was ready, I'd hit record, and then I'd slowly zoom out, and at the same rate I'm zooming out, I'm going to move in. And that's what's going to create that effect. The best way for you to do this is just to give it a go. You will find that it takes a little bit of time to get a smooth motion, especially if you don't have a dolly. It's not going to be perfect unless you've got a dolly, because lightness is you're going to have to move and probably step into that movement, and obviously your step's going to cause a bit of a bounce as you're moving, but you may be able to achieve it without a dolly fairly effectively. I will show you the examples that I've done here. I used my dog, I used the famous rabbit from the SX70 videos. They were the only ones I could really get a good example on. But really, just give it a go. See how you experience it. One of the key things is to make sure you stop moving once your zoom has come all the way back in. And that can be tricky to do, but once you master it, you can get some really good effects. Obviously, it would be better if we had a manual zoom. That would make life a lot easier, but unfortunately, this does not let us zoom in the way we'd like. So, unfortunately, we got to make do with what we got. One thing I will mention is that if you go into your menu at the bottom, I'm already on it. So you go over to this third option here, and you see down here it's got the TW button function, and you can set it between fast zoom, slow zoom, and setting a manual focus distance. So I had it set to fast zoom so that I could move quickly and zoom out quickly. But maybe you want to move slower, so you go on a slow zoom. I found that I'd already had a slower zoom with this button here, so I could have a bit of a practice. This is the TW. A T is telephoto, W is wide. So telephoto means you are zooming into a subject far away, and wide is you're getting the widest view that you can by having the camera zoomed out. Just in case you're wondering what the TW function was. So that will help, because if you're holding the camera like this, you can use the zoom here, and that will help you with a bit of stability as well when you're moving the camera backwards and forwards. So it would be really good if anyone does have success with this, if you could post it. I'd love to see it, because it is a really cool little trick, and it's just a bit of fun. And if you didn't know how to do it, hopefully now you do. I am currently working on the program mode, which will be the next video, but there are a lot of new options and things to learn with it. I've got to learn them before I can explain them. So maybe a little while until that video's on, but not too long, hopefully. So take care for now, and I will speak to you soon. I said you could have a treat. We've run out of treats. No. Max, bad news. I've run out of treats. Haven't really. I got a sausage for you. Nom, nom, nom.